Welcome back. We are doing r/writing prompts again on the Rosie Pears channel. But guess what, guys? This is the last one. I am not doing another one on this post because, well, it has been like almost a month that I've been reading this one post, and I've got to find something new or something different or something more interesting. If you have anything more interesting on writing prompts or any other page that you want me to read, let me know because I am down for anything. I will read writing prompts. I will read Am I the Asshole? I will read Entitled Parents. I'll read RPG horror stories. I've never played RPGs, but I will read them and I will call them How Not to Play an RPG. I actually discussed this with someone once, and they're like, that's a really good idea. You should totally do that. And as an RPG virgin, this would be perfect for you. The writing prompt we are finishing today is, for years, the hero and villain's rivalry continues with seemingly no end in sight. You are the hero's sidekick and are frustrated with them, and often rant about it to this nice girl you've gotten to know at the cafe, who, unbeknownst to you, is the villain's minion, who feels the same way. Now, I've already read this story. I've already read it from Silver Owl Writes. Their story is amazing. I'm not going to give you a virgin reaction to it. I recorded it a long, time ago, and I wanted to post it like a long time ago. But my recording software, once again, decided to be a dick and didn't let me record it or download it onto my computer, so I couldn't upload it, which is the lamest of the lame. So I'm going to do it all over again, and we're going to have more fun because, well, let's just grab our soda and our popcorn, kids, because this is a long one. No, wait, it gets worse. You sure about that? Lana said, raising an eyebrow. Amusement danced in her eyes. I'd say that tearing an entire theater apart over some pebble is pretty hard to top. Right? I laughed. But seriously, listen to this. Like I told you, Trueheart ordered the search because he thought there was a bomb in the theater somewhere. No proof, no evidence of tampering, just that, yes, that overclock was in the theater earlier, Lana interrupted. She had no patience for me repeating myself. Yeah, and of course, it's overclocked, so he must be up to something nefarious. God forbid the man just wants to see a movie. Lana rolled her eyes, taking a sip of tea. It was oddly comforting, I realized, that eye roll. That sense of camaraderie. Most people in town practically worshipped Trueheart, the brave hero, keeper of the peace, with his inhuman strength and speed. But they only saw the mask, the flawless image that he worked with the media and the city council to maintain. I got to see the whole of him, blessing and curse of being the hero's sidekick, I guess. I saw every botched response that the papers didn't report, every rambling monologue about his critics, every wrong guess about overclocked in his plans. And I saw the obsession, the paranoia, whatever it was, the fixation with his nemesis that kept Trueheart up most nights, staring at city plans and newspapers with a haunted expression. I didn't worship Trueheart, the real Trueheart. If anything, I pitied him, caught as he was in the grip of his obsession. Once I tried talking with him about it, but Trueheart was a great hero, and of course no great hero would stoop to take the advice from a young woman. I was his sidekick, he told me, failing to completely hide the scorn in his voice. A glorified secretary. His job was to worry about villains like Overclocked. Mine was to handle paperwork and clean up after he'd saved the day. I'd excused myself politely and had managed to hold a neutral expression until I had left the compound. Then I'd taken off down West Avenue, almost jogging. I'd felt reckless, bubbling with angry energy. I wanted to tilt my head back and yell, "Hey, Spirit City, did you know? Your idol is an entitled douche. Instead, I walked West Avenue straight into downtown, ducked into one of the hundreds of coffee shops that lined the streets, and slumped over at a table. A woman about my age with long curly hair had looked over from the bar, then stood and came over to me. "Hey," she'd said, are you all right?" "Yes," I responded, not bothering to lift my face from the table's wooden surface. "I just need something." "What's the best drink for learning that your boss is kind of awful and that you don't have anyone to complain to about him? A mocha, maybe?" She laughed, a light sound that made me think of birds. I don't know, but I could have used it most days at my last job, until HR actually did something about our reports and canned the guy. "Tell you what, let me grab you a coffee, and you can vent to me about your boss. Change the names, if you're worried about privacy." I picked up my head and looked at her, unsure of what to say. Okay, thank you." After a pause, I extended my hand. "I'm Ellie." She'd taken it. "Lana." Despite the fake names and places I'd used, Lana had worked out that I was Trueheart's sidekick within 3 anecdotes, and had shared my opinion of him after just 1. Now, 2 months later, she knew all the stories, and was the first person I went to after each new foolishness. Like this pebble in the theater. I forced my mind back to what I was saying. And, of course, 3 hours later, there's no bomb. The only thing found that was even slightly out of place was a little pebble near the concession stand. But Trueheart can't accept this. He's absolutely convinced that Overclock left it. And so he tells the lead trooper, ready, that the pebble must have been a bomb that Overclock transmuted to stone once the search began. Ah, yes, Overclocked. That famous alchemist. Lana mocked. "He's definitely some kind of wizard, not a tech geek. He chose his name ironically." Trueheart must really think that everything wrong in the world is Overclock's doing, I said, letting my fingers play around the rim of my mug. "It's unhealthy, and it's not even productive. I mean, has Overclock committed any actual crimes recently?" Lana frowned. "I don't think so. But I always got the impression that he wanted attention more than anything. It's not like he needs money. With that layer full of gizmos, the papers keep swapping rumors about." "Well, he certainly got that from Trueheart," I said. "All the attention he could ever want. And more." Lana mused, one side of her mouth curling upward. "You don't think there's a reason Overclocked would want Trueheart's attention in particular, do you? And a reason Trueheart might be giving it?" I shook my head. If only. A tormented romance might actually make their relationship interesting. But no, I think Trueheart is just stuck on a quest and can't let it go. Honestly, I don't think he'd know what to do with himself if he didn't have a nemesis. Lana nodded. "Yeah, Overclocked is like..." She paused, just for a moment. "Overclocked seems like that too. I mean, how many of his grand schemes are just visual effects? He would make a good performer. Or engineer, maybe." "What, but he only knows one way to show off his abilities?" "Something like that," Lana responded, dropping her gaze. Silence rose between us, an unusual occurrence. "Well, maybe," I said at last. "But I doubt he can be talked into trying other things any more than Trueheart can." "I've been thinking about that," Lana said. "They wouldn't listen to most people, but what about each other? What if Overclocked could tell Trueheart straight up that he doesn't mean any real harm. I scoffed. Trueheart wouldn't believe him. I agree, but he doesn't need to, Lana continued. At least, not at first. He just needs to agree to a truce. He won't pursue Overclocked until there's a clear evidence of trouble. And I mean real evidence, not this pebble business. And what does Overclocked get from this? I asked her. Like I said, he thrives on attention. I bet if he knew all the time Trueheart has spent on him, he'd feel pretty accomplished. Maybe even enough to try his hand at a different job. And if he does, Trueheart will eventually realize that the truce is genuine. I considered this, tracing the rim of the mug again. Maybe. I guess it could work. But we'd have to get them face to face. I mean, I could probably get to Trueheart to go somewhere with a fake tip and describe the situation once he gets there, but Overclocked? The man's a hermit. I doubt anybody could get him to agree to meet in a preset spot. Oh, don't worry about getting a message to Overclocked, Lana said, finishing her tea and standing. She brushed her hair to one side. Hadn't realized she wore an earring. It caught the light nicely, a pretty golden disc in the shape of a pocket watch hanging from its hook. Wait, pocket watch? Lana smiled. Let's say I know a guy. Oh, what a way to end this scenario. Oh, every single writer that does this is absolutely beautiful, and every single writer I read who does these stories and puts up writing prompts and replies to writing prompts, these people are the real MVPs. They deserve the attention, not me. But they deserve someone to read these stories. Someone needs to read these stories, because I look around YouTube all the time and I get, am I the asshole? I get entitled parent, I get entitled people, I get entitled kids. I get RPG horror stories. I hear all sorts of Reddit content. I see meme channels. I hear story channels. I see text post channels. I hear people who do voice to text channels on shorts on TikTok and on YouTube. And they're awesome. And I love them. And they're so good. But people need to know these longer ones. These longer ones are the ones that need to be read. The stories on writing prompts and the histories that just show up, the lore. Oh my God, the lore. It makes me so happy to see all this lore. And it makes me so happy to read all these videos or read all these stories. And it makes me so happy that people actually want to see these and read them. Thank you so much, you guys, for listening. And if you have any ideas on how I can make my channel better, or if I can do a different writing prompt, or if I can do a different channel, let me know, because I am open for everything. Let me know down in the comments. If you absolutely loved my stories, you can like the video and share them around to people, because as I've said, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. And it's going to take a while, and the year's half over, so we're going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. Determination face. I can do this. I can do this. I can't do this. I need your guys' help. Share my videos around. Let people know, hey, there's this new person doing this thing. It might be fun to listen to for a laugh. I don't know. I don't care. Just let someone know that this is happening, because every small YouTuber becomes big by someone out there liking their stuff. And if you absolutely like my stuff, let me know and I will make more. Thank you so much, guys. Bye!